You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Decent Show. It is Ryan Money here, joined by Reagan Horton. We've got a couple of random topics, just to be kind of doing some chit-chatting today. Reagan, how's it hanging?
¿Cómo estás, bitches?
Coming out firing. Love that. Only on The Decent Show. Yeah, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, interacting with the Twitter page. Make sure you get those gender pronouns in. You know, if you want that them, they, you just gotta holler at me. Let me know what to call you.
Yep, definitely do all of that. Slide in the DMs, all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely slide into our DMs. Might answer. Definitely send any bodily pics right to the Twitter page.
Yep, you are correct. All right, so what have you been up to? How's bowling?
Bowling is pretty turnt. You know, like it's pretty competitive. I'm a competitive guy. It's, you know, sports in any capacity. So I got to see, I didn't watch any college basketball today, but I did see, like, basically the last 8 seconds of Michigan State holding on to beat Duke. So that was pretty epic.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, really happy about that. And plus, you know, I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess Duke's just too loaded. I'm just glad they lost, but I'm sure their guys are going to get drafted and they're going to have nice careers. You know, I'm looking forward to Zion in the NBA for sure.
Yeah, I feel you. Tech won, so guns up, I guess. I don't know. That's all I got to say on it. I don't know how anyone like watches college basketball more than except for the tournament, because like it is just so slow, man. Like they wait, like they dribble around and like set up a play for about 15 or 20 seconds, and then they wait until like the end of the shot clock. And
oh man, I'm watching them run 2 or 3 sets. You know, all these different plays, all these different screens, a lot of passing, and I'm just like, okay, here we go, we're getting it going. And then, like, no one's open, and they just keep passing, and they just keep going, and it's like, oh, my God, like, geez.
yeah,
But, you know, it's still got its moments. You still get close games and big shots, and, you know, it's exciting, and freaking, what else have I been up to? I went to the gym a little bit today. Bowling was lit. We didn't win, but
that's
whatever.
just as good, you know.
Yeah, that's about it, I guess. What's going on with you? What are you getting into?
Playing Uncharted 2. It's an alright game. I mean, like, dude, it's like you can tell it's old because like I think just all old games like start off like as slow as possible, and it's like really annoying. Like I was like, man, this fucking sucks. Like I was like, dude, why does anyone like this shit? Like I can't stand this game. Like I was like really upset by it. But then like I was like, man, I'm gonna make myself play like, you know, an hour of it, and then like, you know, I'd play an hour of it, and I was like, I'll play a little bit more and a little bit more, and then I played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and I ended up getting like halfway through the game. So like it gets like way better. Like
yeah, bro, it does get way better.
I'm trying to think. Like you start off like on that train, and like it's falling off the cliff, and then it like flashes you back, obviously, and like I don't know. It's just you know, you move on to like you're in the sewer and you're like climbing shit or whatever. Basically, whenever shit hits the fan, you like start on the actual treasure hunt. Like it's just like 10 times more fun. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I understand why people play this. But I'm trying to beat that. I want to beat 3. I want to play 4 too. Like I'm really trying to get through that series because it's really awesome. And like Last of Us is one of my favorite games. So I don't, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. I haven't played any of their others except for the first one, which is the worst, Uncharted.
You haven't played number 4?
No, I haven't played.
Well, I hate to do this to you. I mean, third one's good, and fourth one definitely has its moments, but I think second one was the best.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see. I mean, I could see it. It's a good game. You couldn't even get through what?
Great game. I couldn't even get through the first, but that's because I started off at the second. I played the second one first.
Yeah, the first one's. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's really boring to play. Honestly, like the story's all right, but you know, it's just like run here, shoot this, and then like you just move on. Like there's nothing really creative about it. Other than that, we played some Modern Warfare Remastered. That game's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We got wrecked there. We had a couple good games in a
Yeah.
row. Got some dubs pretty easily, and then definitely got spanked a couple games in a row.
Yeah, I will say that is how it is, like Call of Duty is so like vast and like reaching everyone, like you're gonna play against some fucking pricks who are just like fucking like amazing at the game. And yeah, so you're definitely gonna be able to do that and like it's when you're not playing against those people, it's actually like really fun and like it's slower than the newer Call of Duties for sure, but I think that's like a great thing actually. Like I really
Yeah.
there's something about it, dude. Like I immediately when I play it, I'm like, this is way more fun than all the other ones. And I don't know what it is because me and you have never played this game, or I've never played this game. We got in on the second one, so
Yeah.
like it's not like I have like nostalgia or anything. But I will say if they remaster the second one, like let's go, like I'm ready, like I'll buy it.
Yeah, definitely. I would too. Yeah, because this first one, yeah, it was nice. I definitely enjoyed. It just played good. I liked the way it felt. It was really easy to just get into it, start killing men. But I don't know. I get bored of it real quick. But it was just because we were playing team deathmatch. Now that like we're kind of into it, I wouldn't mind maybe trying out like some dom or some kill confirm, just see if it's just spice it up a little bit. Get a little
Yeah,
variety in there.
I do think it is like the second one's like so much better, just to me, like because like there's so much more variety. Like there's so many more guns, there's so many more perks, you have so many more kill streaks, like. There's just a lot more variety of where you can play. Whereas like in this one, everyone has the same kill streaks and like pretty much everyone's using the same gun anyway. But like
What gun?
they're all using either they're using the M16. I get killed by that gun a lot,
Yeah,
or
bro, I
they're
was
using
killing
the
with that gun.
first shotgun, or they're sniping. And I guess they're using different sniper rifles, but that's still not a ton of variety. Whereas in like the other game, you can literally walk around with like dual pistols. You can have like a Glock and dual shotguns and dual all this other shit and like 50 caliber sniper. Like there's a bunch of fucking weapons in the other one. I really hope they do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, all right, so we just watched the Borderlands 3 trailer. Like, what are your thoughts on it? I haven't
Okay.
talked to you at all about it because you just watched it and we started, so I don't even know what your impression of it is.
Yeah, so we watched we watched the trailer, and I listened to a little bit of a podcast that I'm sure you and Kyle listened to, but yeah, Kyle was listening to, and they were talking about Borderlands 3, and I kind of agree with their interpretation of the trailer, and there's not a whole lot to me, I guess, to be said about it. It just looks like another Borderlands game, which is a good thing because I don't know, I've always enjoyed them, and I want to play a new one and have something fun that I know is going to be good to play with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just kind of looks like a direct sequel. It looks like it's going to be bigger and better, but pretty much kind of like the same thing. It looks like a lot of the same like classic characters and some new characters, but essentially it looks like just the same game but bigger and better, and that's okay. Like I'm very good with that. I heard the pre-sequel got a little different
I,
and not in a good way. Like people weren't a big fan of it.
yeah, I know you
Um,
went to the moon.
yeah.
That's all I know.
So I guess they did like the no gravity thing, and so it's harder to control. You're kind of floating around, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I just heard the pre-sequel went a little different, and it just wasn't for the better. And it looks like the 3 is just kind of getting back to what it does best. And again, it looks like it's just it says, it keeps saying multiple worlds, like it makes a big deal about the worlds.
hmm
So that to me just implies that it's going to be bigger. And then it says, guns, shows all the guns, and then it's like a billion guns. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, is there literally a billion? Like, holy cow. So, uh, we'll see. What do
Hmm.
you think?
Initially, because they were teasing this for a while, so I was staying up on it. I was like, when are they gonna drop this trailer? So like, I was kind of hyped for it, and to be honest with you, I was disappointed when I watched it the first time because it's safe. You know what I mean? Like it is definitely just more Borderlands. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say like, and we weren't talking about DC movies, so my brother was actually right. He was saying like, he was like, yeah, I think you need to watch the trailer again. And I just watched it again. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I was too hard on it. Like, it looks like it's gonna be fucking awesome. Honestly, like it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I do kind of hope that they get away from because it all takes place in that area that's like called Pandora, which is like a desert area. And
Okay.
I hope they get away from that a little bit because we've had 2 games and maybe the pre-sequel in that area or something that looks like that area. So I hope that they mix it up a little bit and they kind of hint at it. And I'm hoping that that's a bigger part of the game because I'm fine with playing there, but I just want the scenery to be a little different, I guess, just to make it feel like it's a little more different. But
Well, they
even
showed some different worlds. I
they
mean, it
did,
looked like there
yeah.
was some different scenery. I mean, hopefully they'd get away from it. I mean, but I heard it is. I mean, it's pretty much a direct sequel. It takes place like what 5 years after Borderlands 2, apparently, is what I heard.
Something like that. I know they have some of the same characters, so it's got to be pretty close, and they look pretty similar. I just all I'm hoping for is that it's just like those different worlds aren't you go there for 30 minutes and then you have to go back to the normal area and that's where you are for the most of the game. Like that's what I'm hoping for. Outside of that, it looks awesome. I'm glad it's not like Destiny or anything like that. I'm glad it's just straight up like co-op. I'm glad they confirmed that in the trailer too. I
Oh,
really,
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Like, I don't know. Like, we're playing Far Cry New Dawn, which we should review probably next week. But
Yeah.
like playing that game gets me pumped for Borderlands because I've forgotten, like, me and you and Gamble, I guess, we don't really play that many games together just because our tastes are kind of spread out a little bit, and there isn't really that many games we can play together. So like when we do find one, like it's like really fucking fun, and like I feel like Borderlands is probably gonna be even better than New Dawn because I don't know, New Dawn's kind of a spin-off instead of like like Borderlands 3, like, and it's been worked on for so long, it's probably gonna be pretty epic, and like the other Borderlands games are freaking insane, and I always kind of wish I spent more time with them, so hopefully I can do that this time.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to. I still want to play the Handsome Man collection. I don't know if I'm gonna end up, I guess, playing some of that by myself, but freaking, I want to play it just because I didn't spend enough time with those games. I don't think I beat any of them. I don't even think I've never touched the pre-sequel. But I
Hmm.
did enjoy playing two, and I remember playing one back in the day. I just don't think I've beaten either one of them like properly, but I've definitely put in like some hours to both of them to know that I appreciate them. They're good games.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting that too, and maybe playing that, but I was also thinking, I was like, it's been so long since I played it. Like, I kind of want to just go into it fresh, so I'm not like burnt out on it whenever we get the sequel, or when we get Borderlands 3. Which kind of leads me to my question is like, based on just I don't know your feeling, your gut. Like, do you think we're gonna get it this year? Do you think we're gonna get it in 2019?
It certainly looks like it. I mean, they've had quite some time to like work on the game, and they've got the trailer. So I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't release this holiday season,
Yeah.
especially with a trailer like that out. It looks like it's kind of ready to go.
Hmm.
But I mean, what do you think? You think it's gonna? I mean, do you think it has a chance to not come out this year?
I would agree with you. The only thing is like, why would you put out like a 3 minute and like 50-second trailer and not have like the release date in there? Because if you have that much to show and it's like all gameplay footage and like,
Oh yeah, they didn't really have a release date or say that it was gonna be like fall or
yeah,
this
exactly.
holiday season or
I would have figured they would put
yeah,
like
they
at
didn't
least
really.
a minor release date on it, like just like later this year or whatever. But
Yeah.
so that kind of trips me up a little bit. But I would say like, I mean, why not come out this year? Like, I don't know. I feel like people are all hyped up on this game. Like, release it, and you'll probably do better than if you have to wait another year or so, and then people maybe forget about it or aren't as hyped anymore. Like, I don't know. Also, it looked like there
Yeah.
was a lot of vehicles in the trailer, which I'm not sure how that's gonna go. That should be
Uh,
interesting. Like, I don't
I
know if
mean,
that'll be
you
great
can.
or that'll be annoying or who knows.
Well, you can use quite a bit of vehicle in the old games. I know Borderlands do. I mean, you don't have to use it, but I mean, it's definitely, especially when you're playing co-op and you're traveling a lot. I mean, you're going to want the vehicle and kind of plow through some stuff quicker.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I also kind of wonder if the world will be connected, but I guess that's not really something we would know. Like, in the other ones, how like you drive out like in that car with your buddies or whatever, and you go to like a door or like a huge
Yeah,
gate or
yeah.
something, and that I wonder if it's just like all connected. You don't have to load. That would be dope because I feel like
That
that
would be
should be
nice.
possible, honestly.
Yeah, probably. I would hope. Yeah, more connected, open world to where where you're not just kind of
Loading all the time, or yeah.
Yeah, everything's separated by a loading screen every time you want to go to a different different looking environment.
Yeah. I don't know. All things being said, though, I think it is probably my most anticipated game, honestly. And we didn't even talk about it in our in our most anticipated episode, but like, I feel like it's the only thing
Did we
confirmed to
know
come
that
this
was going to
year.
be happening?
No, we didn't. So like, that's the irony, I guess, is like, tomorrow they could announce something else, or they could say Last of Us is coming this summer or whatever, and like maybe that would change it. But for right now, I would say this is the game I'm most pumped about, and it's because I think it's coming this year, and like it's not a lot of games are like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I'm probably most excited for it too. I mean, there's not a whole lot coming out that I'm excited about because I don't know if they're coming out with another Assassins this year. Do you know if they're doing that?
Yeah, they said they were taking a break.
They're taking a break.
Yeah, like they're taking another year off.
I guess that's good. Gives me more time for Odyssey and Borderlands and stuff. But shit.
And yeah,
So
and
yeah, I
then
guess I'm looking forward to this game and 2K. I guess.
I think they're probably gonna like wait and just come out with like the new one on the PS5, and then like
Uh, oh no shit.
it'll probably be like how we went from Syndicate to Origins, like, and there was kind of a big difference and it was improved upon. They'll probably do the same thing where they'll be like, all right, let's make it better in every way and like change it up some more.
I guess, bro. They got it so perfect right now. I don't know where they're gonna go from here.
I agree. I agree. Honestly, I would be like really excited if they like announced like a futuristic one. I would love to see what that would look like.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but also I don't know. I kind of I like the if it's futuristic, I still want it to kind of play the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you'd have to deal with the issue of guns, which not, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
really play this game for guns. Like I just love the old timey aspect of it. I'm just like killing men. Just
Look,
old school.
I'm saying that I'm like, I wish I would do that, but maybe that would suck. So like, maybe I don't really want that because I do like Odyssey a lot. I'm so overwhelmed by it, I can't play it honestly.
Yeah, dude, I'm still blown away like how much stuff there is that I'm doing, and I'm level like 57, and there's just endless like missions and bullshit to do. But I'm hoping I'm getting close. I'm hoping I'm making a dent.
All right, dude. Well, let's get on to our main topic of the show. We're gonna do our top 5 most underrated movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
I'll go ahead and start if that's cool. No, it ain't
No.
cool. No.
The only thing I was gonna say is I was struggling with this list, so I don't know if I even have it narrowed to a top 5 because at first I was struggling. Oh shit, I forgot I can't do this. I was struggling really hard, but I definitely found a lot more movies that I think are underrated. So I'm gonna probably have a ton of honorable mentions, just kind of a disclaimer for you.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I got 3 honorable mentions, so I mean,
Yeah,
I got some.
okay. So you're gonna
So
start with this is in order, like we're ranking it 5 to 1.
yeah, yeah, and I'm not really sure about like 2 through 5, but I know what number 1 is. But anyway,
Nice.
honorable mentions for most disappointing movies. I'm gonna go with Memento. Um,
Disappointing.
I'm sorry, underrated. Did I say disappointing?
Yeah, you said disappointing.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
underrated. Memento, which is like Christopher Nolan's one of his first movies.
Yep. Yep.
It's about this guy who like has short-term memory loss basically, and he has to solve like who killed his wife basically. Um, but he has short-term memory loss, so it's like fucking hard as hell. And it's also the movie is shot from his point of view, so it's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen because it starts at the end and it goes like all the way to the beginning and it ends at the middle, if that makes any sense. Like it's really freaking weird, man. Like it is really weird. Like it's a really trippy movie, but it's fucking well done. It's got Guy Pearce in it, the bad guy from Iron Man 3, if you remember him.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to
I
think of
sure
other.
do.
He's in a bunch of movies. Also, he was in the L.A. Confidential. He's like
Yeah.
he's freaking good in the movie. Like it's just freaking weird. Like he tattoos stuff on himself so he can like remember what things happened or whatever. And like it does keep you on your toes. It does have like a twist that you kind of see coming, but it's still like really well done to where it doesn't. It's not like it's not boring when it happens. I think that movie's super underrated because a lot of people are like high on Christopher Nolan, but like no one ever talks about that movie. Um, Another one, completely take a left turn. Anchorman 2. I feel like a lot of people give it a lot of hate because it's not as good as the first one, but the first one's one of the greatest movies ever. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's fucking, the first one's fucking hilarious. Like, it's so good. And the second one's, like, great, too. It just has, like, a couple of dull parts in it. I'm not a huge fan of the stupid kid, but that goes pretty much for everything funny-wise. Like, kids are usually not that funny. They do use them well because, like, he's always like, man, by the time I was like 6 years old, I had a full-time job or whatever he says to him. And he's like, well, damn it, Lupito, what were you doing eating Doritos? When he's talking to the babysitter, and
Yeah.
he's like scaring him half to death about voodoo and stuff. And it's great. It's great whenever Will Ferrell's like with the kid, but then like when the kid is the main, trying to be the main source of humor, and they do that stupid thing with a shark at the end of it. Not a fan of that. But the ending battle is super epic.
Yep.
The beginning is great. Like, I love the racial tension that is like created, and how offensive it is and like weird it is when he's at the dinner table with the family and he's just saying super offensive things.
Got to pay me. Got to pay
Pay
me
me in paper. Yeah, exactly. And he just yells out like interracial sex like at a restaurant. Great movie. I don't understand why there's so much hate for it. I just think it's not as good as the first one, but it's still one of the better comedy movies. And then,
Well, who hates it? I mean, don't most people just kind of think that it's like funny, but it's not as good as the first one, or?
no, dude, I feel like no one ever talks about it. I feel like most people were like, man, that movie was so like disappointing and just wasn't that good. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind, you know? Like, that's another thing is like, I'm gonna have to explain some of these to you because you're gonna be like, well, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is that underrated? But like, to me, it's underrated because I feel like everyone I talk to is just like, they love Anchorman 1 and they're always like, ugh, that Anchorman 2 though. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's not like Zoolander and Zoolander 2, you know? Like, it's not like,
Ooh,
or,
yeah.
or Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2. Like, one of them
Joe
is,
Dirt 2,
yeah,
Bad Santa 2.
all these bad comedy movies. They
Yeah.
came way later too. Like, it's one of the only ones that works that came like super later.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. True.
and yeah, I don't know. And then also another complete left turn, 8 Mile.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
underrated, bro.
yeah, dude. I think it's an underrated movie. Like, everyone loves that ending scene, but like I think the whole movie is like really good. I don't know, you know. I think it's really
Yeah.
interesting, and I think it's kind of funny and like messed up, and like I don't know. I think it's like a cool movie of like that's not really about him, but is kind of about him. Eminem, obviously, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Think it's a sick movie. And then yeah, the ending rap battle is fucking awesome, but the rest of the movie's pretty good too.
Yeah. I feel you. Okay, now, where do those movies rank on our ranking scale?
Oh man, that's tough. Uh, I would say mad decent to 8 Mile and Anchorman 2, and then
What about Memento?
I would give that a fuego. I mean, for what that movie's trying to
Whoa.
be, I don't see how it could be any better. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've definitely wanted to because I mean it does. I think when it comes to Memento, people have. I think film buffs have respect for it. I mean, people who
Yeah,
know movies, people who watch and review movies,
yeah,
definitely have respect for that one. But yeah, definitely your average viewer never talks about it, nor really knows about it. And it's definitely on my list just because I like to think of myself as a movie guy. I want to try to watch stuff like that. That's kind of because it's pretty critically acclaimed within again people who know movies and people who follow Christopher Nolan. So I definitely want to see it. If you give it a fuego, I had something to ask you about your other ones. You gave them mad decents. Now, where do you think they rank amongst the average viewer? Like you've given it your ranking. Where do you think everybody just kind of ranks in a tier below that, or two tiers below that, or?
yeah. I think everyone sort of just thinks 8 Mile is good, whatever, you know. I don't think they
Yeah,
really. I think they're just like, yeah, whatever. That's a movie with Eminem, right? Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
And then Anchorman 2. I think a lot of people are down on it. I think a lot of people are like, yeah, that's low key Garbo, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I would say you should watch Memento, but it is like one of those movies where you have like you can't be playing 2K while you're watching it, or like you're not gonna
Nah,
enjoy it.
definitely not.
So like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to set that time apart, and it is kind of a chore to do that. Like, and it's a very serious movie. It's not gonna be hilarious like The English Patient or I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got a pretty funny plot. It sounds like, but,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So yeah, what are your honorable mentions before we get into the top 5?
Oof, got a bunch. Let's see. Let me see if I gotta figure out my top 5. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got a bunch. I'll start with I got them all mixed up here. Rush Hour 2, not a whole lot to say about that just because we both love that movie. I just feel like a lot of people aren't huge on the Rush Hour movies.
They don't get like what's so hyped about that movie.
I guess. I don't know what it is too. And just the folksy racism of the movie, you know, it's just and the action comedy, it's just it's a hilarious movie. I definitely feel like it's underrated. I would give it a mad decent to Fuego, and then
it's one of the few movies that blows its sequel or blows the one that came before it out of the water. Like it's not even just better than the first one. Like it's like fucking way better. Like just way
out
better.
Out of the water. I don't know about out of the water.
Dude, Rush Hour 2 is so much better than Rush Hour 1. I mean, Rush Hour 1's good, but like Rush Hour 2 is like fucking amazing. Definitely a Fuego for me. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely a Fuego. I mean, it's hilarious. But let's see. So, Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg and Denzel.
That's
just
a good
another kind of, it's just another action comedy that's like slipped through the cracks. That I'm just I don't know if a lot of people saw, but every time someone sees it, they're normally like, "Oh man, like that was a great movie. Like, can't believe I like missed out on that one." And then Mission Impossible 4. I think it's just another sleeper. I think it's probably a little underrated, but I mean, it's just kind of, they're like, oh, it's another Mission Impossible. Fury.
With the tank.
Yeah, with the tanks and the Mark Wahlbergs, or not Brad Pitt, I mean.
Shia LaBeouf.
And Shia LaBeouf, yeah. I think it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Good war movie. And a lot of these, again, definitely just kind of went through my DVD case and was like, oh shit, like I forgot about this movie. So, some are just might have been kind of thrown on there, but let's see. At a Time with Denzel Washington, just kind of another Denzel Washington movie that's just kind of, it's got Eva Mendes in it. She's pretty hot.
That is a good movie.
It's a thriller, kind of like edgy, or like, it's kind of a like thriller action type movie. Let's see here. The Change Up. I think that movie is pretty funny, and just a lot of people don't know about it, with Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty funny. I think they've got pretty good like chemistry, and it's just, I don't know, it's pretty hilarious. It's got a lot of good one-liners in it. I don't know if this Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell. I think a lot of people are hung up on stuff like Step Brothers and Anchorman, and they forget about movies like Semi-Pro and even maybe Blades of Glory. A lot of people like Talladega Nights, but I would say, like, to me, I almost, like, I've seen Talladega Nights so many times, I kind of prefer like Blades of Glory and Semi-Pro over that. Captain America 2, I think it's just a Marvel movie that, to me is a little underrated, but I guess, a lot of people like it, but I figured of all the big movies, it's probably like the biggest movie I could get in there that's, I feel a little underrated.
We need to do our list, dude. We need to do our list, because I want to know, like, where shit like that ranks for you.
Yeah, Cap 2's up there. I got to rewatch it. I've been meaning to rewatch it for a while. And then, of course, I'm dying to see the second Spider-Man. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, to me, is, to me, it's a little underrated. I mean, it's just, sometimes it's so hard to forget, because so many movies come out, so much time passes that, a lot of people are just like, yeah, like, that was whatever. Like, I don't know. You can't see every movie, so that's just kind of one of those movies. It's got a great cast, and, not everybody might know about it. The Comebacks. I think it's a good spoof movie, because for a while the spoof movies were kind of sucky, and that was kind of in that range of sucky spoof movies, but to me it was still pretty funny. Like, it was really enjoyable. The Town with Ben Affleck.
Great movie, dude. That is underrated, because no one ever wants to watch that whenever I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know, there's something about it that I like. It's just real dark, and
they have that stupid accent that I love to hear.
Yeah, good Boston accent, the Boston boys.
Kingsman 1.
I don't know if it's underrated. I don't know if Kingsman 1's underrated. It was probably pretty high praise. I mean, that's why they came out with the second one. But I don't know. I still
Second one's
love the
garbage.
first one a lot. Yeah, the second one's garbage, but definitely love the first one a lot. And I think I want to say this is going to be my last honorable mention. That's I
I
Love
was
You,
like, Jesus
Man.
Christ.
Yeah,
Whoa. That doesn't
yeah.
even make your top 5. Wow.
Um, well, just because I don't know how underrated it is. I mean, I feel like a lot of people like it, but a lot of people also just don't know it as well. When I go to reference it, a lot of people don't. You have to.
Yeah, we really reference that movie a lot, and it's very few people get it. Like, it's not like something where you could say, like, I don't know, like, Ricky Bobby's trying to win the race in reverse, and, like, people know exactly what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that movie. I don't know why either, because it's got plenty of great actors in it, but it's I just didn't get that credit like that like 40-Year-Old Virgin and Talladega Nights and Step Brothers and things like that get. Everyone like knows and you can quote that and everybody will kind of know what you're talking about. But I feel like I Love You, Man, it's just another one that kind of slipped through. But I would say like if because I don't know how confident I am in my top 5, so I could say I Love You, Man could easily be number 5 or 6. I mean, I don't really know
Mm.
where it fits, but I think that'll be it for my honorable mentions. I think I finally got it down to where I'm down to 5 left.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna start us off number 5. My best friend's girl.
Oh, wow. That's an honorable mention for me as well, then. I forgot
Dane
about
Cook, actress I can never remember her name. The weird guy from American
Kate
Pie.
Hudson,
Kate Hudson there.
Jason
Thank you,
Biggs.
dude. Freaking hilarious movie, and it's one of those movies you talk about where they go for that dick humor, like that super vulgar, like frat guy, like just incredibly offensive like humor, and it is freaking hilarious. Like it works. And
Yeah.
like I looked it up and it has like a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm just like, dude, this movie is hilarious. I don't know how anyone comes to that conclusion. Like I think it's so funny. Like I don't know. I love like I just love how offensive it is and how like the and it's like it's a comedy with like a really creative like premise too because like I've never heard of that and I've never seen it since where like basically uh Dane Cook he plays a guy where he basically just goes and takes out your girlfriend who like just broke up with you on like her first date after that and
Yeah.
he'll make it look so bad that it's like oh my god like dating is so bad like I'll go back to my boyfriend I don't care like what he did to me so he basically like helps out the other guys and like I love like all the offensive things he does like he just makes all these jokes about like the grandma and like drops the grandma and hurls during the
Yeah.
middle of the wedding dance and he's like cocaine always makes me sneezy and he picks up the girl and just plays that pop that pussy song and takes her to a strip club on the first date and it's just like oh dude
Yeah.
I freaking love that and yeah I don't know I think that movie's like really underrated because no one's ever heard of it like outside of our group or whatever no one ever references it and again like critics hated it and I don't see why.
Yeah, dude. And it just fell through the cracks. I don't even know if it went to theaters. If it did, it was probably there for like 10 minutes. And
I just
I
don't
don't know
think I
really.
don't think people like Dane Cook, and I don't really like his. I'm not a huge fan of his
Stand up.
stand up
Yeah.
or any other movies
Yeah.
he's really in, but like he's really great in that movie. I wish he would have done more stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's great in that movie, and I don't know how it came to be. I know I used to see Employee of the Month on TV all the time,
Hmm.
and maybe just because I was like trying to get more into Dane Cook, I had seen that movie on TV because I was real late on Dane Cook. A lot of people were already kind of over him by the time I was kind of figuring out who he was.
Mm.
So like I had seen Employee of the Month, and I guess it was back when I was just buying DVDs all the time, and I saw My Best Friend's Girl at Walmart. And I was like, hey, this is like another Dane Cook movie. It's got, the guy from American Pie. So like I just bought it,
Hmm.
watched it, thought it was hilarious, and then I just, showed it to everybody I know basically, and everybody seems to like it. It's a good movie to me, but I could definitely see why, just because it's kind of a goofy plot and it's kind of predictable. But I mean, it's still to me the laughs for it are hilarious. Like it's always good for a laugh.
Yeah.
Good com-rom, for sure.
So what's your number 5?
Um, I guess my number 5 is just gonna go ahead and be the fighter. The reason why, I think you had predicted that this was going to be on my list, and I was like, yeah, no, it's critically acclaimed, yada yada. But
I got a critically acclaimed one on my list, so no worries.
Yeah, exactly. And I figured, again, it's another movie that just not a lot of people know about. It's kind of your run-of-the-mill boxing movie, but to me, it just stands out with its acting and its humor, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Christian Bale, I think was recognized for his performance, but I just don't think the average viewer knows about this movie. But since again it is well reviewed, and Christian Bale I think either got nominated for the Oscar, that's why I'm going to put it at 5, because it's not super underrated. But again, just your average viewer doesn't know about it. It's a really good dramatic boxing movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just their accents are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is actually funny. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Yes, I love that movie. Head body's got to go for the body, ma. It's definitely a movie that I quote a lot. If you listen to the show, like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, you've definitely heard me reference that movie a lot. Yeah, dude.
Excellent pick. And you got anything else you want to say on it before I go to my number 4?
Mad Decent to Fuego. Yeah. So what's your number 4?
All right, so hear me out. Mine's critically acclaimed. Catch Me If You Can.
Oh yeah, no, good movie.
Yeah, great movie. Like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was nominated for Best Picture. But it's a Steven Spielberg movie that no one ever talks about, and it's also a Leonardo DiCaprio movie that no one ever talks about. No, everyone's like, "Yo, you seen Wolf of Wall Street? You seen, The Revenant? Yeah, you seen Titanic?
Gatsby.
Yeah, Gatsby. All these other movies, you seen Jurassic Park, you seen Jaws, all that. But it's a really good movie about, and it's based on a true story of a guy just writing all these fake checks and getting all these crazy shenanigans. And Amy Adams is in that movie again, and then he goes all over the place, dodging the cops, and he ends up working with them and catching other people that are committing this fraud, and Tom Hanks is hunting him down, and Tom Hanks is hilarious in that movie too. Only one part is he hilarious when he's you want to hear a knock knock joke? It's yeah, sure. It's go fuck yourself. I don't know why, but it makes me laugh every time I hear it. But yeah, no one ever talks about it. I think it's probably because Wolf of Wall Street is a rated R version of that movie, basically, because it's Leonardo DiCaprio playing a realist, based on a true story character who is evading the law and basically committing fraud and getting rich off of it. And everyone loves the fact that it's just super rated R, and he's naked chicks in there, and they're doing drugs and all this other stuff. Where in Catch Me If You Can, he's just he's not doing a whole bunch of girls, and he's not doing drugs or anything. He's literally just making a bunch of money and continuously doing it and flying on airplanes and impersonating people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's an underrated movie.
It definitely is. I think it's a great movie. You put that on Mad Decent or Fuego, or where's that movie sitting at?
I go Mad Decent. I go Best Friend's Girl, Fuego, actually. Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's hilarious, dude. I don't know. I just think it's such a funny comedy.
Yeah, Kate Hudson's performance was unforgettable.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was talking about. You're one of the girls that we got to put a bag over our head just in case yours rips off.
Let's see. So I had The Fighter. Next one I'll go with superhero movie.
Nice.
Yeah, just because I think it's hilarious, dude. It's another movie just not a lot of people know about. Nobody really quotes. It's got a ton of actors that are, I guess, just sleepers, Drake Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely underrated performance in the movie. We actually watched it the other night. Christopher McDonald, who is Shooter McGavin.
Oh, yeah. In the Hourglass.
Yeah, as Hourglass. And so, yeah, that shit's hilarious. And then obviously Leslie Nielsen.
Yes. My God.
George Sr. from Arrested Development plays the funny doctor in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I don't know.
Kevin Hart plays his friend.
Kevin Hart's in it. Yep, yeah, Kevin Hart. I always forget about Kevin Hart. And Leslie Nielsen and Kevin Hart's interactions are hilarious.
Yes.
Shoots the nail gun and
don't forget the bitches
with a huge knife. Yeah, the bitches. Look at what your ancestors described. Or scribed on that ring: honor, valor, commitment, sacrifice, bravery, courage. low-income housing, cheap internet porn, loose-fitting pants. The rest is in Latin. You know, like, so it's just, it was a hilarious movie. So yeah, I definitely got it on my number 4, just because, you know, again, not a lot of people know about it, but I will acknowledge it's not like the best movie ever. You know, it's definitely pretty corny, but it's also just an hour and a half. You know, you just get a quick laugh in.
There's a lot of things in that movie, dude. Like, I don't understand why they didn't make another one, like, with superhero movies being more popular than ever. Like, why they wouldn't just pump out another one. I don't understand how Drake Bell doesn't have, like, a career in acting. Like, at least somewhere, you know? Like, he's not in any other movie, but, like, he's, like, hilarious. He's, like, good in that movie, and he's not the funniest character, but he's still, like, really funny in that movie. I'm surprised, like, he's not in anything else, you know?
Yeah, because like he's got really good like slapstick comedic timing in that movie. Like the way he delivers his lines, like they're good. Like
And
I don't know,
it sounds weird,
hilarious.
dude, but like he's really good at like whenever someone tells him something weird, and he just gives like this look of like what the fuck, like he's just so disgusted with it. Like it's perfect. I love the doctor in there too. That's like just keeps handing him the pamphlet or whatever. Yeah, such a minor part.
He keeps handing him the chart all the time. And yeah, he was having the Thanksgiving dinner with Christopher McDonald. You know, he's like, oh, you got a, you know, bruise on your arm. Burnt it on some hot coffee. Bike messenger knocked me down. I met a girl on Craigslist. I met a guy on Craigslist. my crack pipe broke. You know, just all that stupid shit that they say. So.
Oh man, it's phenomenal. She was badly injured. How is she injured? Badly.
Badly. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a fantastic movie, but freaking...
What would you rank it?
I would say it's mad decent, just because again, Tracy Morgan, he's another. He plays Professor X, and he's pretty funny in that movie. So yeah, I don't know. I'd give it like a mad decent, because I mean I can acknowledge it's not like the best movie ever, but it's it's just so funny.
I agree. Okay, so I'm gonna go with sort of a similar route. Number 3, Airplane. Now this is like a widely known movie or whatever, but it did come out in like '79, and it is sort of like it's even more so of a Seinfeld thing, where like I feel like me and you had to show Gamble, but like even him now, like we're into Seinfeld basically just because like we happen to get into it. But that really is like more of our parents thing, you know, like that is like our parents, like that was the show, you know, like how everyone's like getting on The Office right now, like that was The Office back then. And like this movie is like freaking hilarious, and it's still hilarious, like it's still funny. It's like the humor, it's amazing that the humor is like so timeless, and like it's so dated, and like I don't know, it doesn't even look that great, but it's still like I love watching that movie. And like, again, Leslie Nielsen is in that movie, and he is phenomenal in that movie. I would say that I was gonna say the Naked Gun movies, but I kind of feel like I picked Airplane just because it's older, and I still feel like it's just as good or right around the Naked Gun movies. So like it's even more impressive, and not a lot of people know about it because everybody's like, "Oh, dude, you see 22 Jump Street, and you see like I don't know, fucking The House with Will Ferrell, like, oh, it's hilarious." And I'm like, dude, that movie sucks. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Basically, Leslie Nielsen, probably my favorite like comedic actor ever. He's only got like 5 or 6 movies where he's like doing comedic stuff in it, but like so funny. And like I love all the just the ridiculous ass humor, like where he's like got a drinking problem, and he like instead of it being like with alcohol, he just can't bring a glass to his mouth and just pours it all over himself. And it's like the dumbest thing in the world, but they just keep doing it and doing it. And like the same thing with Leslie Nielsen, where like he just has the straightest face I've ever seen. And like someone's like, "How long until we land?" "Oh, I can't tell." And he's like, "You can tell me, I'm a doctor." Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, dude, he just like the way he keeps a straight face, it gets me every single time. And like, I don't know. I just think it is one of those things where like there are very few crossovers where my dad and like even my grandpa and me all find like one movie all funny. Like that's got to be a pretty ridiculously good movie for it to all 3 of us find it funny.
Yeah, definitely same here.
So like yeah, that's my number 3.
Well, you kind of already touched on it.
And Fuego, I'd give it Fuego. FYI.
Fuego. Well, like I said, you already kind of touched on it. My number 3 is The Naked Guns.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
We need to do an episode just on Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, we probably should. Got to give him a shout out. You know, he's definitely been
Overlooked.
been a hero.
Yeah, and he's great.
Yeah, and just because I don't know really too many people that know about it. I mean, I feel like we just kind of stumbled onto the movies at Blockbuster. Like, I don't know how we would have found out about him or how we even knew about him, just because, like, my parents knew about him, but they didn't necessarily go, "Oh, these movies are hilarious. We loved, these movies, yada yada." I feel like we kind of just stumbled on it at Blockbuster, and
I always think about like how, like we saw that the picture of him like riding the bullet or whatever, and like, yeah, let's give this a shot. Like,
maybe because we were told about Airplane, and so we were like, "Oh, it's the guy from Airplane."
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But those movies were like I remember just like dying when I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think they're hilarious. I like the first and the second the best. That might be one where like the second kind of is sometimes my favorite. It really just depends. I mean, the third one's definitely the stupidest, but it's still very enjoyable. So
they're like feeding dirt to everyone in the prison.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's such a ridiculous movie.
But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So yeah, I think that's my number 3. Again, just kind of putting the trilogy as a whole. I don't know. It's really hard to kind of just pick one.
All right, dude. All right, I'm gonna go number 2. This is not a comedy. It's called About Time. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's got the guy from Star Wars, the General Hux. You know what I'm talking about? The redhead. He's also like a Weasley in Harry Potter.
Okay.
He's in that movie, and it's got Rachel McAdams in it. And basically, like it's a serious movie. Like it's almost kind of a romantic movie, but it focuses on this guy who can basically like time travel. And if you've ever played like a Telltale game, like where you have to make choices or whatever, and like it influences everything after it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sort of a choose your own adventure sort of thing. It's kind of like that in a movie where basically, like, like basically he can go back in time, and it kind of focuses on for about half the movie about him like getting Rachel McAdams basically because he has to, like he gets her, but then he realizes like he forgot to go like to his uncle's play, and because he didn't go to his uncle's play, like no one gave him the main actor like the like his script basically, so it's his play bombed and he like was miserable. So like he went back in time, went to the play, but then he never met Rachel McAdams, and he has to figure out this way to get to her basically. Really interesting movie just because like all the time travel and all the implications, and like people in his family get addicted to drugs and stuff because like he wasn't there during this one particular part, and then like he can't go there because like it influences the other things, and like it's a really like it sounds like really complicated, but like they do a nice job like spreading it out, and like I don't know, like I just like my roommate Sean like one day like showed it to me. He was like, dude, this movie's like really good, and I saw it and it was like romance, like mystery, like basically like what it said next to it. I was like, I don't know if I really want to watch that, man, but like he was like, yeah, dude, no, trust me, it's good. And I was like 5 or 10 minutes in, I like just settled on it, and like the premise, the way they explain like why he can time travel is a little stupid. Like it just is like he just can because he can basically. But like once you get past that, like it's like all good just basically, and it's fun. It's kind of funny too because he's like banging Rachel McAdams basically, and like he doesn't do a good job. So then he goes back in time like 20 minutes, and like he like just keeps doing that until it's just like, oh my god, that was amazing. Like, oh, I feel like you like, wow, I don't know how you did so well your first time basically. And he's just like, well, I don't know, he just got lucky, I guess. And then like after that, her parents like surprisingly come over, and he just like stumbles over his words, and like he has to go back in time, and like he answers the door like completely naked, and like his mom's just like, oh my god, like what the hell, like, and then, like he has to go back in time. Anyway, yeah, really funny movie. Margot Robbie's also in that movie.
Ooh, my girl.
Yeah, and he's trying to get with her. And
wait, who's the lead again?
The redhead dude from Star Wars, General Hux.
General Hux.
Yeah, the evil Empire guy.
I'm thinking the guy from Crimson Dawn. I'm thinking.
Oh, you're thinking of Vision.
Yeah, Vision. Yeah, okay.
Paul Bettany, not Paul Bettany.
Yeah. General Hux, that ugly mofo. Rachel McAdams and Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
He's trying to bang both them broads.
Exactly. And like he waits until like the last, like she stays with them for the summer, like her family. I don't understand why, but it's like it's in a foreign country, so I'm like maybe this shit just goes down. But basically, like he's just like he waits until the last day. He's like, hey, like you maybe want to like I don't know, go out on a date or something, like or like something like that. And she's like, oh, you shouldn't have waited until the last day. Like I wish you would have been more assertive. So then he goes back in time and he asks her on the first day, and she's like, how about this? How about we wait until the last day and see what happens then? He's like, oh, fuck you then. So just like totally messes him over. Anyway, yeah, surprisingly great movie. Again, no one's ever heard of it. I've never heard of anyone else. Like I've never heard of it, and I love movies and I watch a lot of movies, and I just
when did it come out?
2015. Like it didn't come out that long ago. Like just completely slipped under the radar.
Straight to video?
No, like went in theaters and everything.
What's its Rotten Tomato score?
I believe it's like 80 something.
So well reviewed, but no one knows about it.
But no one knows about it, yeah.
Interesting, bro. But maybe it's just because nobody in our circles know about it because we don't watch those kind of movies. It just doesn't match up with the genre.
Yeah, you're probably right. But like even when like you try not to listen when girls are talking, but even when they are talking about like movies they like,
man. Yeah.
even when they are talking about like movies they like, they're always like The Notebook or like other stuff like that. You never hear about this one, never hear about it.
Yeah, well, it's all white noise to me anyway. I never really hear any of it, but I know what you mean.
So yeah, what's your number 2?
Number 2. Let's see here. So I've already said The Fighter, Naked Gun, and superhero movie. Oh man. I guess I did have too many, so I'm just gonna have to, I guess, share one here. So yeah, this kind of makes mine a top 6, but basically, I guess tied for second place is Pain and Gain and Popstar.
Wow.
So I mean, I guess I technically have 6 movies. I knew I didn't count properly, but it's kind of hard to leave one of those off because I don't know. Popstar got reintroduced to me. I saw it in theaters and just wasn't like blown away with it in theaters, but for some reason really liked it. Once I rewatched it, loved the soundtrack, and
soundtrack is great.
Whenever the guy at work got it on his movie poster, I mean, no one else at work really heard of the movie, knew about the movie, and it's just another movie that a lot of people just don't really talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when it comes to Andy Samberg movies, people only think Hot Rod. It's really rare that I, hear anybody talk about this movie, and I like this movie better than Hot Rod.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I would say Popstar is up there number 2, and then Pain and Gain's another one where it's got some of my favorite actors. I love Mark Wahlberg and The Rock and Anthony Mackie, and it's just a different kind of movie. It's got everything I like. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got working out, it's got drugs, it's got crime, it's got the fact that it's a true story. I mean, really, I'm not crazy about Michael Bay, but it's not too bad of a movie. It's got a lot of good actors, and I don't know. I love that movie. I watch it all the time. It's a little long, but that kind of thing.
Nice. All right, well, number 1, Wedding Crashers.
What? It's what?
Yeah, that's an underrated movie, man.
By who?
By everyone. No one ever it's underrated in the sense that to me, it's my favorite comedy movie. I'm 100% sure it's my favorite comedy movie. And I don't think anyone else would have it even anywhere near the top of their list or even thinks about it. I think a lot of people like it, but they're not balls deep on it like I am. I think it's just phenomenal. I think it's funny the whole movie. I think the premise is super original because it's they're 2 guys just crashing a bunch of weddings and having all these ridiculous fake identities, and I love the montage at the beginning of just telling all the stupid sap stories just to get with the girls. They're just yeah, we lost a lot of good men out there, and it's he's like, you played with the Yankees, and he's like, yeah, with trades and stuff, I don't want to talk about it, and it's just in the bag, and he's like, I love how Vince Vaughn is just ridiculous the whole movie. He's like, I can't help it, I'm a coxman.
Yeah,
the real proper chick in the hat just sent me just I fucked the shit out of me, and it's just what he's just yelling it in the church, and he's just, I don't know, dude. it's like such a good movie. Like we watch it every time we hang out almost. Like it felt like for a while there. Like
Yeah,
it was, and I enjoyed
definitely.
it every time. And then I came back here and like I'd show Nick it because he hadn't seen it in forever and was like, I don't know, it's not that good of a movie. And he's like, yeah, dude, that movie's freaking awesome. And then I've shown Sean it, and he's like, yeah, that movie was actually really good too. And like, and it's another one of those like
Do they
comedy.
not know about it? Like what?
They like it's like one of those things where you've heard about it and maybe you've seen it, but you never think about like I don't know, you're just sort of like, yeah, it was whatever. But like it is like one of those movies where like I Love You Man or something where like it's good, but then when you watch it again and again, like you get how good it is, like how funny it is.
Yeah.
And like it has like I feel like all comedies kind of have like a romantic plot in it or something like that, but it really like it doesn't get in the way of this movie, and it doesn't like I don't know. I always like how it just sort of wraps up and they just go to another wedding, you know? Like
Yeah.
they're gonna crash another one. Like I love how it's just like, yeah, like he met this girl like a week ago. They're not gonna like do anything, like they're not gonna get married. Like that's that's kind of unrealistic. So like I like that aspect of it. Will Ferrell comes in, steals the show for a little bit. Like he's hilarious. The guy, I've never seen him in anything else besides Gotham. The brother who's just like death you are my bitch lover, and he yells at the ocean, and like he's a
Yeah.
painter or whatever, and he's like gay, and the mom is like freaking weird, and it's insane, and I just yeah, dude, it's hilarious. And Bradley Cooper's in it. Um,
Yeah. And Rachel McAdams.
yeah, and then he's getting like jacked off under the table, and he's just like, "Holy shirts and
Yeah.
pants!" Like, oh, it's good. Feels so good when he jokes. Like,
Jokes.
like there's so many quotes in it, dude. Like, I
Christopher
don't know.
Walken. Yeah, Christopher Walken's great.
Yes, I love his movies.
I do love his movies. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it's underrated, but I feel like people who know it love it. Like it's a classic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say. Like, I just to me, it's like it's my favorite comedy movie.
What?
Yeah,
Over Naked Gun and Airplane
yeah,
and basically all Leslie Nielsen's, bro. You got Wedding Crashers over all of it.
yeah. Not by much, but yeah.
Wow, dude, I feel betrayed. What about Kung Pao? What about like
Kung Pao's good, but it's I don't
uh
know.
who are you?
All
I
right.
can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
What's your number one after you get two number twos?
I would say it is gonna be The Nice Guys.
Wow.
I don't. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, I feel like it. It just. It kind of fits everything. It blew me out of the water. Because I had no expectations for it. No one else I know has like really seen it. It's just I don't know. A lot of people sleep on it. Like not a lot of people saw it. It kind of came out at like a weird time when there just wasn't really movies out. Me and my mom just went and kind of saw it on a whim.
Hmm.
It's got two good actors though, and Gosling and Crowe, and it's just to me a great action comedy. And like I said, I just had no expectations for it, and I just never heard of it, and it's just kind of an original plot. Not necessarily based on a true story or anything like that. And it's just, I don't know, it was a really good movie. Like kept me on my toes. Wasn't able to predict anything. It's really funny. It's just got everything. I don't know. It's just an overall, like, to me, it's a Fuego movie that like, just didn't really get any credit or recognition, besides probably having like a nice Rotten Tomato score. But like, no.
I remember reading a lot of stuff about it and just like not making any money just because no one went and saw it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's exactly I could see that because again, it came out. I think it just it came into theaters at a weird time. There's just nothing in theaters whenever it was out, and
Hmm.
again, just there's just something about the movie where like nobody went to see it. Like it just kind of had that vibe, and it really is a shame because it's such a great movie. Like I don't know, it just has everything, and it's just kind of different. To me, it's just kind of like. Rush Hour and like Goodfellas and just things like that, like it's kind of like it has a lot of other movies that are very similar,
Mm-hmm.
like that are trying to do the same things, but they like stand out from the pack. Like they're unique in their own way, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just like, dude, like I remember seeing the trailer and I remember like not really wanting to see it, and then like you came over and were like, yeah, we gotta watch this movie. And I was like, I really don't want to watch that though, you know. But it is like it's great, but it's just like it's just something about it, you know. I just don't think it got like a good first impression or whatever, and like a lot of people passed on it. Also, I don't know, the title just sort of doesn't seem like it'd be a good movie. I don't know. I don't know why a lot of people slept on it, but it's a great movie. Great choice.
Yeah, well, yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I guess that's the top 5 right there. That's all of them.
I do want to give a shout out to Scary Movie 3. I forgot to shout that one out because I feel a lot of
Yeah.
people talk about the first Scary Movie and then they're like, then they made a million sequels and they all sucked. And I'm like, actually, it's weird. To me, it's like it's weird. I've never heard of this before, but yeah, the first one was good, the second one sucked, and the third one was great, and then the fourth one sucked, and like the fifth one sucked too. Like they just randomly had another good one in there. I don't know. I think that movie's hilarious too. It's got, yeah, again, Kevin Hart, Leslie Nielsen's the president. Great casting. Scott, dude, whatever the brother of Charlie Sheen in that movie. Charlie Sheen's in that movie, and the guy who plays his brother, also hilarious. Never seen him in any other movie. And they spoof 8 Mile, and they spoof like all these other signs, and it's hilarious. I don't know why a lot of people slept on that one either.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always loved it. It's just, trying to think. It's just, they switched directors. It wasn't the Wayans brothers anymore. You know, it was Zuckerman or whatever, who
Yeah,
also did the Naked Gun movies. But yeah, you know.
you can see that. It's like a completely different type of humor, honestly, but still funny. All right. Um, I don't know. You got anything else to say, or is that the show?
I think that's everything that I have. Is there anything else we might be forgetting here?
Nah, we good. We good. All right, yeah, get us out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, another classic episode in the books. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, definitely slide in our DMs. Show us your gender pronouns.
Gosh.
And yeah, just let it hang loose. More great content coming soon. Hopefully, we'll have another episode of Gamble coming up. We'll have a little Far Cry review as we keep playing Far Cry, and it's been going pretty good so far. Definitely a lot of traveling, but anyway, yeah, yeah, another great episode. We'll see y'all later. Good night.
I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.